Okay, very basic stuff. Make sure you color code everything, keep it all color coded. Okay, right, so that's your basic breakdown. If we want to, we can actually automate the tambourine loop as well. So let's put a little autofill, little channel EQ there. What we're going to do again is activate the high pass. We're going to press Latch. Okay, let's first find the point before we do that we like. Let's find the point we like it to come out. There we go. Simply press Latch there. Move that around a bit. There we go, and that will actually then show up as an automation lane. Let's go into that now. Press A for automation. There's our high cut frequency. Let's simply take it from there. Oops, let's take it from there and go all the way up to there like this. Quite straightforward. Use our curve tool again. There we go, and we'll get a. Basically hear that just really slowly in the background. Keep saving as you go along. Logic notoriously crashes a lot, and I've learnt that to my expense many times. Okay, here's our first breakdown. I think we could actually have that stretched out a little bit longer, but okay. Let's actually have that stop in. Yep, that's nice. Actually stop the sound there. Put a bit of, sorry, stop that. Let's put a bit of delay on that sound just so it kind of carries on. We'll have it as a, or the first delay actually. Let's have that. Obviously this is the delay we've already set up from our template, and we'll actually also, what we'll also do is we'll zoom in on the track there, and we'll put a little crossfade on the end of there as well, just so it's not an abrupt end. Okay, let me quit that. There you go. Subatomic life. There we go, we're grooving. You'll notice here as well, 8 bars into the, is that 8 bars? 8 bars in there, we bring a version of the kick drum, but it's actually got the low end taken out of it. So what that does, it gives you some rhythm, so you can still dance to it, but it's actually, it hasn't got any impact. So when it comes back in afterwards, the kick drum sounds quite fat, got impact. Subatomic life. Okay, cool. And how we did that was simply copy the kick track onto another spare channel and basically place an EQ on there with a low cut, taking most of the low end out of the kick, so you can just hear the click of the kick rather than the thing. Okay, so we're into the main body of the track now. Now I've pretty much got everything going on there drums wise. The only thing I've left out is again my tambourine, because that's the real good thing to bring in later on when the whole thing starts to shuffle. It's a nice little part that you'll really pick up on when you bring it in. So we can hold that off. Also, we've also got our lead pattern. I've not brought that in yet. I'm planning to bring that in after 16 bars. And again, we're going to use a punctuation and something before it comes in just to sort of introduce it, because it's a pretty big noise and we want to let people know that something's going to happen in the track. So let's have a look at this section here. Again, it kind of just happened. So let's try just bringing our little crash over there. Maybe we could have a reverse effect up to atomic, maybe. Not too keen on that crash there. Let's try another sound. We can go to our audio bin. We can actually try some other samples as well. We can have, let's have an impact there. I'll drag that impact in. Let's try another little noise here. Whoa, we don't want that one. The impact of doom. Let's go to impact file. We can play that one. No, don't want that one. That's quite nice. Let's drag that in. We'll use that impact instead. Make sure it's not too loud. It's going to be pumping there. Yeah, nice and subtle. Make sure you save it. Make sure you color code it and name it. This is like a zap kick. Okay. Make sure you name it and color it. This is the, I mean, we are getting creative with our samples and effects and whooshes here, but we're also working on the arrangement, so we've got to make sure we know what's happening and where everything is. Now there's some low end in that we want to get rid of, so open up an EQ, select, actually let's zoom in there, select there, and take all the bottom end out of it. We just want the, so it's not getting in the way of the. Okay, so you can see now we've got the next 32 bars. If I close the arrangement down a bit, the next 32 bars leading up to the break are actually just the same. There's nothing else happening. Oh, it's not leading to the break. Leading up to the next 16 bars, sorry, leading up to this section here, nothing really happens. It's just the melody grooving along, you're getting into it. You know, don't be afraid to let that groove along, because the longer it goes, the more you kind of get into the sound anyway. So let's leave that going for a bit. Now you can see here on our ghost track at the top, if I zoom in on that, you can see that the waveform changes, which signifies there's actually a breakdown or something happening there to signify something else happening, something else coming in. Now all we're going to do is simply bring in the tambourine part, but it's significant enough to actually warrant, you know, maybe having some kind of fill or something. Let's have a look. So let's do our little reverse effect. We can have a, maybe we can have a crash. Let's try the crash there. Let's just see. What we've also done is took out the bass line there for that last bar before. We took out the bass line. We've dropped the kick as well. So. So, as an effect, and we've brought my little subatomic life vocal in there. Doesn't sound too bad. There we go. And although all we've done is simply added a little tambourine, it's enough to make that section sound quite interesting. Okay, save that. Make sure you're happy. What we've also done as well, we had two different versions of the chord pattern. One you can see here if I zoom in on this. One is the busy pattern. One is a strip pattern. What we've got there, when it comes back in, we bring in the busy pattern just as a variation, but we only play it for one bar. Okay, because it kind of gets a bit messy. So. There you go. Just to vary it up a bit as we're going, you know. So what we got here? Again, 16 bars. What we can do with the riff is actually add, yes, we've actually got an auxiliary, which is the triplet delay. Okay, as it's going along, we can actually automate that triplet delay. You know, we can actually automate that as it goes, just to sort of, you know, vary it up, change the sound a bit. So let's do that somewhere, and then we can copy that automation elsewhere. So let's simply press again. We go to Latch. Latch mode is the best because it kind of if you want to automate something, you can actually, it won't write over the other automation you've got unless you move the parameter, and then it will write over it. Whereas the other modes here, write mode for instance, see, write mode erases multiple parameters in one go, so you don't want to use that. Let's just use latch, and then you're kind of safe. Always remember with automation, once you've finished automation, to put it onto read. If you don't, and you move a parameter while the track is running, you will end up writing that automation. So remember that. So let's put it in latch mode. So all we've done there is simply just actually automated that parameter. Let's go in there, let's zoom in at that section. Now we press the, let's zoom out at that section, we go over here, you can see that it's automated send to for me. So wherever I want to put send to now, wherever I want to automate send to, I can. So let's just turn that off. So let's do it like every, it's really nice if you can do it sort of in real time and just feel where you want to put it, but for the purpose of this and to keep it low, to keep the time down, we're just going to like add it in every kind of 4 bars or so. Yep, every sort of 8 bars, you know, kind of just throw it in. It's just like, this is only rough. Trust me guys, I'm going to be working some more on this track. You've got to understand it, you can usually take me up to 3 months to do a track, so to be able to do this in 2 days is a pretty big feat for me. So there we go. Just keep sticking those in just to vary it up a bit. We can even, like, towards the end there, you can see where the riff finishes, we can actually start automating it up all the way up to there like that. So and you can hear what that does, it gives it a bit of a delay tail afterwards, so the sound doesn't just stop, it actually carries on. And what we can do as well now, which is a nice feature, is come out of this, we can go to the mixer, we can go to our triplet delay, which is down here somewhere, let me scroll down, triplet delay, we can actually press read on here. Now you'll notice when you press read that it actually makes a new track in the arrangement, and I'll show you where it's put it there, triplet delay. Okay, and now that, which means we can actually go in and automate the triplet delay itself. So I'm going to simply go to tape delay, I want to automate the feedback at the end of that part, so let's simply go in there, and this feedback is currently at 49%, I want it to go up to 54% there, so it carries on a little bit longer, and then it gradually comes back down again there, back down to the normal 49% where it was. Let's do that. There we go, it's got a nice little tail on the end which carries on for well into the break. Okay, so there we go. I'm also going to show you this technique as well, which is to use, while we're down here, I'm going to create a new instrument track. I'm going to make a software instrument, create that. Let's make, we'll use the ESP again, I like the ESP, but we'll simply turn all these waveforms off, and we'll just turn the noise, in fact let me zoom in on that so I can show you, we'll turn the noise waveform up, right? We'll take the resonance down, we'll take the frequency all the way up there. Turn that down. Right, we'll turn up the sustain. There we go, instant noise. Let me show you. Now we can make a little part. Let's basically make a 4-bar part. Let's press record. Sounds awful at the minute, but bear with me and I'll show you what we're going to do. So let's zoom in on that. Let's take the automation off. Let's stretch the part out. This is an 8-bar. Let's make sure it's an 8-bar. It's a 4-bar. Let's have this 8 bars in total.